بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. This is a simple reply to the statements of Yasir Al Hanafi regarding wiping over the socks that are not made of leather or not made of skin, regarding what he said about the impermissibility of wiping over such socks. Inshallah ta'ala, the reason why I am doing such a refutation is just because it has become or is becoming spread worldwide, number one. Number two, in Trinidad especially, it is going around that it is unlawful to wipe over these socks, number one, and secondly, that it is impermissible to pray behind the one who has wiped over such socks. And inshallah ta'ala, my approach to this is to, number one, define what the jawrabain is, define what the jawrab or the sock is, or the sock that is not made of leather. Number two, to clarify the statements of the Hanafi madhab regarding it. And number three, to define the word taqeen, which is the condition that the Hanafis use for wiping over the socks that are not made of leather. And so I shall proceed inshaAllah ta'ala. The first thing is to define what the jawrab is. Muhammad Bahuti said in his explanation of Zad al-Mustaqna called Ar-Rad al-Murba', mentioned that al-jawrabu wa huwa ma yulbasu fil rijli ala hay'atil khuf, that the jawrab, it is what is worn upon the feet which resembles the khuf, which resembles the leather socks. Min ghayril jild, from other than what is made from skin. From other than what is made from skin. And that is the definition of Imam al-Bahuti. And likewise, Sheikh Saleh Al-Fawzan, in his explanation of Zad al-Mustaqna, he said, وَالْجَوْرَبُ هُوَ مَا يُصْنَعُ لِبَاسًا لِلْرِجْلِ, that the jawrab, it is what is made as covering for the feet. مِنْ صُوفٍ أَوْ غَيْرِهِ مِنَ الْأَنْسِجَةِ الْمُبَاحَةِ, from wool or other than it, from lawful materials. And likewise, Al-Imam Fayroz Abadi, he defined the jawrab as lifafatul rijl, that which covers the foot. That is what the meaning of jawrab is. Now, for the second part, and this will be quite short, regarding the statements of Imam Abu Hanifa and those of his madhab regarding the jawrab. So number one, we go to the famous Hanafi Mukhtasar, or the Hanafi text, Mukhtasar al-Quduri, which is a Hanafi primer. So the one who explained this particular book, Muhammad Sulaiman al-Hindi, and I got this book from Darul Ulum in Trinidad and Tobago, he said, ثم المسح على الجورب المنعل جاز اتفاقا, that wiping over the sock that is muna'al, meaning that it has skin or leather on the bottom of it, it is lawful according to consensus. وعلى الرقيق لا يجوز اتفاقا, and upon the thin socks it is unlawful to do so. وعلى الثخين غير جائز عند الإمام, and upon the thick socks that are not muna'al or mujallad, that are not made of skin at the top or below, it is unlawful according to the Imam. This is Imam Abu Hanifa. وقال يجوز, and what they mean by those who say it is lawful, meaning Muhammad al-Shaybani and Abu Yusuf. قال في الذخيرة رجع أبو حنيفة إلى قولهما في آخر عمره قبل موته ب7 أيام وقيل ب3 أيام وعليه الفتوى. And Abu Hanifa, he returned to their statements in the last part of his life before he died by 7 days or by 3 days, and this is the fatwa that is taken, meaning that Abu Hanifa returned to the statement of Abu Yusuf and Muhammad al-Shaybani that one could wipe over the thick socks even though it is not mujallad, even though it is not made of skin, or muna'al, or it is not made from skin at the bottom. Likewise, in Nur al-Ilah, and this is printed in Qadimi Kutub Khana in Pakistan, it has mentioned regarding the jawrab in the explanation itself, and the explanation was done by Muhammad I'Azaz, right? Muhammad I'Azaz, who was a teacher himself in Darul Uloom in Deoband. He said, لا يجوز المسح عليه. وقال أبو حنيفة لا يجوز المسح عليه. And Abu Hanifa, he said, it is unlawful to wipe over it, meaning the socks, right? The socks that is a cotton socks or the legs of it that are not made of leather or any type of skin. ويروى رجوع أبي حنيفة إلى قولهما قبل موته ب3 أيام وقيل ب7 أيام وعليه الفتوى. And it has been mentioned that Abu Hanifa returned to their statement, meaning the statement of Abu Yusuf and Muhammad al-Shaybani, by either 3 days or by 7 days. Okay? By 3 days or by 7 days. That's number 2. Number 3, we will take Al-Hidayah, which is the main text studied in the Indo-Pak continent. And it is said right here under the Bab Masah al-Khufayn. He said, وَلَا يَجُوزُ الْمَسْأَلَ جَرَّبٍ عِنْدَ أَبِي حَنِيفَةَ, that it is unlawful to wipe upon the jawrabain according to Abu Hanifa, إِلَّا أَنْ يَكُونَ مُجَلَّدَيْنِ وَمُنَعَّلَيْنِ, except that it is made from skin and underneath is made from skin. وَقَالَ يَجُوز, وَقَالَ مِنَ Abu Yusuf and Muhammad al-Shaybani, they said that it is lawful إِذَا كَانَ ثَخِينَيْنِ لَا يَشِفَّانِ, if it is ثَخِينَيْن, if it is thick, لَا يَشِفَّانِ, and we'll mention the had or the meaning of ثَخِينَيْن insha'Allah ta'ala, or thick. بما روى أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم مسح على جوربيه, right? Because of what has been narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wiped over his jawrab. and it mentions some of the things regarding what taqeen means, and inshallah ta'ala we will further mention it inshallah ta'ala when we reach that point of the bayan or the clarification. وَأَنْهُ أَنَّهُ رَجَعَ إِلَى قَوْلِهِمَا, that it has been narrated that he went back to their statement, meaning the statement of Abu Yusuf and Muhammad al-Shaybani wa alayhi al-fatwa, and upon this is the fatwa, or the main fatwa of the Hanafi madhab, meaning to wipe over the jawrabain or the socks that are thakhinain la yashafan, that are thakhinain or thick la yashafan, and we'll mention what these mean when that time comes. And Imam al-Kasai, he mentioned in his book Badaya al-Sana'i, وَأَمَّا الْمَسْحُ عَلَى الْجَوْرَبَيْنِ فَإِنْ كَانَ مُجَلَّدٍ أَوْ مُنَعَّلَيْنِ يَجْزِيهِ بِلَا خِلَافٍ عِنْدَ أَصْحَابِنَا, that as for wiping over the jawrabain, if it is made out of skin in the top, or made out of skin in the top and the bottom, if it is made out of skin in the top and the bottom, or it is made out of skin in the bottom, it is lawful without any differences according to our companions, meaning those of the Hanafi madhab. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُونَ مُجَلَّدٍ وَلَا مُنَعَّلَيْنِ فَإِنْ كَانَ رَقِيقَيْنِ يَشِفَّانِ الْمَاءِ لَا يَجُوزُ الْمَسْحُ عَلَيْهِمَا بِالْإِجْمَاعِ, that if it is not made out of skin in the top and the bottom, or at the bottom alone, if it is thin to the point where it is that water could go through it, it is unlawful to wipe over them by ijma', by consensus. فَإِنْ كَانَ ثَخِينَيْنِ لَا يَجُوزُ عِنْدَ أَبِي حَنِيفَةَ, if it is thakhinain, and we mentioned what thakhin is, it is unlawful according to Abu Hanifa. وَعِنْدَ أَبِي يُوسُف and Muhammad يَجُوز, and according to Abu Yusuf and Muhammad it is lawful. وروي عن أبي حنيفة أنه رجع إلى قولهما في آخر عمره، وذلك أنه مسح على جربيه في مرضه ثم قال لأعواده فعلت ما كنت أمنع الناس عنه فاستدلوا به على رجوعه. And it has been narrated that Abu Hanifa, he returned to the statement meaning Muhammad al-Shaybani and Abu Yusuf in the last period of his life, and this is because he wiped over his jawrabai, or his two socks, when he was dying, and he said to those who were visiting him, I did what I used to prevent the people from, and they used this as an evidence that he returned from that. Now, very important fact. Now, basically, we have the fact that Abu Hanifa, he permitted in the last part of his life, and likewise Abu Yusuf and Muhammad al-Shaybani, they permitted to wipe over the socks once they are thakhinain la yashafan. Once they are thakhinain la yashafan. Right? So therefore the condition is no longer that it has to be made out of skin or leather or the likes of that. Now, what we're going to look at now is what is the meaning of thakhinain la yashafan. What is the meaning of thakhinain la yashafan? Now, according to Muhammad Sulaiman al-Hindi, the explainer of Mukhtasar al-Quduri, he said, Kana thakhinain, if it is thakhinain or thick, had the thakhana, or the meaning of thakhana, right, which Yasir Al Hanafi translated as thick, and yakuma ala saqi min ghayri ayurbata bishay, meaning that it stands alone on the ankle without tying it. In other words, when you put on the sock, you don't have to tie it to keep it up. Okay? La yashafan ay la yura ma tahtahuma min basharat al-rajuli min khilali. That, in other words, that you do not see under the sock, meaning that you do not see the skin of the man under the sock. Okay? So we have from Mukhtasar Quduri itself, from the explanation of Mukhtasar Quduri, that takhin means that you could hold it, it could be held up by itself without any kind of aid whatsoever, and number two, that you do not see what is underneath it. Secondly, according to Nur al-Idah, the explanation of Nur al-Idah, he mentioned قالوه أي يجوز المسح على الجرب إذا كان منعلا أو مجلدا أو ثخينا والمجلد هو الذي وضع عليه الجلد على أعلاه وأسفله والمنعل هو الذي يضع الجلد على أسفل كالنعل للقدم. Right? So basically, first of all, he explains that it is lawful to wipe over the jawrab if it is over the sock, if it is muna'alan, meaning that the skin is at the bottom, or mujalladan, meaning that the skin is at the top and the bottom, and takhin. Right, so he's going to define what takhin is now. This is the best definition I have seen from these books thus far. وَأَمَّا التَّخِينُ فَالْمَذْكُورُ قَوْلُهُمَا. Right, and as for takhin, what does it mean? أَن يَسْتَمْسِكَ عَلَى السَّاقِ مِنْ غَيْرِ رَبْطٍ, meaning that it holds up on the ankle, on the foot and the ankle without one tie, and it means that it holds up by itself. So when you put on the sock, it stays up by itself. You don't have to tie it up to keep it up. وَأَلَّا يُرَى مَا تَحْتَهُ, and that one does not see what is underneath it. This is according to the explanation of Nur al-Idah, and that book is taken from Darul Uloom Deoband in India. Now, in terms of Al-Hidayah, it mentions the had of takhin, or the definition of takhin also. إذا كان تخيلا وهو, right, what is takhin, the definition of takhin, and it is أن يستمسك على الساق من غير أن يربط بشيء فأشبه الخف. Right? Okay, that it holds up by itself, and so it resembles the khuf. It holds up by itself. This is the meaning of takhin, right? And that you don't see under it. So when you look at the meaning of thick, of takhin, it doesn't just mean thick. It means that it holds up by itself, number one. Number two, you do not see what is under it. And this is the statement of the likes of Sheikh Saleh Al Fawzan, and likewise the statements of the likes of Sheikh Ibn Baz. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon them. Okay, because in Zad al-Mustaqna it mentions that one could wipe over the jawrab as safiq, and the word safiq, it means غير الشفاف يرى من ورائه لون الرجل, that in other words, that it is not see-through to the point where you could see the color of the feet. Okay, and likewise he mentioned that the jawrab يعني مما يستر الرجل سترا كاملا, that it has to cover the feet totally. ويثبت عليها, it has to stay on the feet, meaning that it doesn't fall upon itself. ويشق نزعه, and that it presents a little difficulty to take it off. This is according to Sheikh Fawzan. And likewise in the Fatawa of Ibn Baz, he mentioned that it is lawful to wipe over the socks once it is that one cannot see underneath, or one cannot see the skin of the person or the skin of the feet from underneath the sock. So all of these are taken from the Hanafi madhab. That shows that takhin, again, it is the sock that it holds up by itself, number one. Number two, that you don't see through it. And this is the statement, the exact statement of the likes of Sheikh Saleh Al Fawzan, Sheikh Muhammad ibn Saleh Al Uthaymeen, and the statement of Sheikh Abdul Aziz ibn Baz, and likewise this is the last statement of Abu Hanifa. So again, to summarize, the jawrab again, it is whatever covers the foot, and it is made from materials that are lawful. It is made from materials that are lawful, and it is made according to how a sock is made, basically what we know as a sock. Number two, that the positions of the Hanafi method is, number one, that Abu Hanifa, his first statement was that one cannot wear the jarrab, and it is muna'al or mujallad, in other words, that it is made out of skin at the top and the bottom, or it is muna'al, where it is made out of skin at the bottom, and that he returned from that statement to saying that one could wear the sock that is taqeen, which is the statement of Abu Yusuf and Muhammad al-Shaybani, and taqeen meaning that the sock, it can hold up by itself, number one, and number two, that you do not see in the skin below it, right? You do not see in the skin below it. So it is a legitimate fiqh position, and in fact, according to the ulama of the Hanafi madhab itself, وَعَلَيْهِ الْفَتْوَى, and this is what the fatwa is upon. Not only in one book, but you find it in Mukhtasar Quduri, you find it in the book of Badaya Sana'i, you find it in Nur al-Idah, as well as you find it in Al-Hidayah, So this matter is very, very clear, and it is upon people to do their proper research into knowing that which is legitimate, a legitimate and an illegitimate opinion, because possibly Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayh went over the cotton socks, which according to him are taqeen, meaning that you do not see underneath them, as well as it stays on the leg, and it stays on the ankle, and it stays on the foot. Possibly they may not have prayed behind them. Because he is doing exactly what people, what many of our brothers and sisters do, right? Who follow the salafi manhaj, right? That we wipe over the cotton socks. Okay? And this is the fatwa, or the last statement of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. And to this, inshallah ta'ala, I just want to offer a very, very short advice, that we have to be more open when it comes to fiqh issues. The issue is not about looking at a particular scholar, or for example, taking from a scholar or whatnot. This is, the Ummah have done this, that we take from scholars, right, and we learn fiqh, we learn aqidah, we learn whatever else from them. The issue is at-ta'assub. The issue is to blind follow that scholar, and to feel that that scholar is the only one who has the correct opinions. And everyone else is incorrect. And bil asaf, and it is quite sad that even in this matter, they don't even follow the last opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa. A lot of them don't. So we have to use the scholars as a means and not the end. As a means to get to understand the deen, but we shouldn't make ta'assub. We shouldn't be partisan to them if it is that we see an evidence opposing, or evidences opposing what they said. But in this case, the evidences are against those like Wasim Khan and the likes of Yasir Al Hanafi, who have both said that wiping over the cotton socks is unlawful by ijma, and it is, it renders the wudoo illegitimate, and likewise in the statement of Wasim that it is unlawful to pray salah behind such an individual. So this is the end of part 1. So we discussed the fiqhi, or the issues of fiqh surrounding these matters, which I use mostly Hanafi books. And then part 2, inshallah ta'ala, I shall discuss the issues of hadith regarding it, wherein Yasir Al Hanafi made it seem that the only ahadith that are quoted regarding this issue are weak ahadith. So I'll stop here. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.